Hey, what's going on, guys? Flick here. Welcome back to another episode of our FIFA 18 career mode with Wolves. I have a lot to cover here at the start of today's episode, but before I get into that, I do want to thank you for your continued support on this series. It's been great looking over the comments of every single episode. You guys are really getting involved in this series, and that was my aim from the start. And if it's not too much to ask, if you guys can show your support on this series by leaving a like down below, that would be much appreciated. But as a quick episode overview, let's hop over to the calendar and show you the matches that we will be playing today. We are in September 2017 now, and our first match will be on September 9th against Millwall at home. We have a match on the 12th against Bristol City at home, and we'll likely close out the episode here on the 16th with an away match against Nottingham Forest. The first point that I'm going to address is something that's been brought up in the comment section of the last few videos, and it has to do with the difficulty of this career mode. And for those of you that don't know, we are playing on legendary difficulty, but we've been winning most of our matches fairly comfortably, usually scoring 5 or more goals and only conceding 1 or 2. I feel like we have to have a more difficult AI, and a lot of you guys feel the same way. So the temporary fix that I have for that is that I've adjusted our sliders. Now I'd like to point out these are not my sliders. They're from another FIFA career mode YouTuber called Cutsy. A lot of you guys will be familiar with him, but if you are not familiar with his channel, I'll leave a card in the top right of your screen. That'll show you a link to his channel. I'll also leave a link to his channel in the description of this video. Definitely check him out. He does a lot of Youth Academy stuff with career mode, and he's just an overall great content creator. He spent a lot of time making these sliders, so I'd like to give him recognition where it's due. I'll quickly go over it, but what this will basically do for us is that I've adjusted a few of our user gameplay customizations to have a little bit more error on our side in terms of the shot error, the first touch control, the passing, but it hasn't been heavily modified. Most of our user generated stuff is the same. What has been changed is the CPU customization. And this is really where legendary difficulty is lacking. The CPU just does not attack enough, and they are not clinical enough with their chances. I'm hoping that these sliders will make things more difficult. And knowing Cutsy, it's going to be a difficult test for us. It'll take some time for me to adjust to these sliders, and it may result in me losing a few of these initial matches. But I think it will be a better long-term solution. And after all, we can always adjust the sliders at a later time, or even take them off completely if things do end up being adjusted by FIFA or EA and they end up patching legendary difficulty to make it more difficult. Judging from the poll results where I asked if I should scout a future star, a lot of you are excited about me bringing a future star to this team, and I'm happy to announce that he has arrived. Our scout has returned, and we're able to see what sort of potential this Scout of Future Star does have. And he looks to be a German right winger, 17 years old, 57 overall. I would have liked to see that overall a bit higher, but of course he does have that 77 to 94 potential. I'm hoping he does. He's able to maintain that upper end of his potential, because sometimes you'll see these Scout of Future Stars drop off to, let's say, 92 or 90 potential. Hopefully that won't be the case, and we'll keep a close eye on Felix Meyer. I'll also take a quick look at Daniel Amaral. He's a center back from Portugal, and he was included in our first scouting report from Portugal. Looks to be a decent player, physically strong, of course, and we could use some more center backs in this team, and we'll have to figure out which one of these Youth Academy players we want to train up and feature in a few of our matches, because that is one of our objectives in this first season of the career mode. With it being a new month, I have made some changes to our player training. Neves will keep his spot, and I plan on keeping him in our player training pretty much every month because he's the standout player in this Wolves side. We're working on his defending this time around. Gibbs White and Ronan will be working on their passing. They were very impressive in the last episode of this career mode, and I'd like to boost their overall player training will help with that. The last 2 spots will go to our wingers, Costa and Cavallero, working on their long passing and crossing. One final announcement before we get into the first match of the episode against Millwall is that Jota was named Player of the Month for August for the championship, and I believe that is our first player award of the career mode, which is a fantastic start to see. Jota did have an incredible month, and I believe he is currently the top goal scorer in the championship. We'll take a look at that from this main hub. And yeah, he has 7 goals so far. Podane's right behind him with 6. So clearly, Wolves, we have a couple attackers looking to win the Golden Boot Award. and Jota and Podence are leading the way for us. Millwall are off to a less than stellar start to their championship campaign. You can't even find them, and you need to scroll down to see that they're in 21st place, picking up 3 points from 5 matches. All of those points came via draws. Although Millwall might not be the best opposition that we played this year, this will be our first match on the adjusted sliders, so I believe it will be a difficult test for us. And as such, I'm bringing out our strongest team possible, the team that has been scoring goals and winning us matches. Let's see if we can do it again today.
Well, the main story here is we are going to see in action the top scorer in the league. And it's live.
Whenever I hear Millwall, I think of Zerka's FIFA 13 Millwall career mode. Let me know down in the comment section if any of you watch that career mode, because that is one of my favorite ones on YouTube. There's Podence with a little bit of space. We'll have the effort and a good save from the keeper. We have slightly upped the keeper ability for the CPU. Maybe that factored in right there. We'll take this corner kick short. Podence sending this one to the far post. Keeper coming out and punching it away. This will be Ruben Neves playing it back in the middle. And now Bully is still with it. Now Jota. Douglas trying to send it across, and he did the defender right there. Not a lot of space for him. Goes back to Jota. Far post cross. We might be able to get a header on it, but Archer pulling off the save. Good tackle from Doherty. And a nice pass to find Podence. I have to say that it's been difficult to break down the computer, but Podence has a shot. That one was going well wide, even if it did get past the defender. And you just have to wonder how much of this might be affected by sliders. The run is certainly going to be affected by sliders. And Ruddy making a save to keep it at 0-0. Podence. Clearly he has more pace than the center back. Uses a nice Berber spin to cut this one inside, and finding the ball on the far post. Can't believe we haven't scored from that. And we don't even get a penalty kick. We've been the dominant side, but we don't yet have a goal to show for it. Corner chance for Millwall. I'll send this one to the penalty spot, and they do win a header. That one may have beaten Ruddy if it was just able to creep inside of the far post, but luckily for us, it drifts just wide, and that may have even taken a deflection. Looking for a Phobie. And now slipping this one inside to Podence. He's somehow able to win the ball back, and another chance for us. We're just not clinical today. It's certainly been more difficult for us to score goals, but I don't mind that. I like a challenge, and we are still creating chances. 5 shots, 2 of which on target, 55% of the possession. If we just keep things how they are right now for another 45 minutes, I'm confident we'll get at least 1 goal out of this match. Poor touch from Costa, and we lose possession. Good tackle by Saiz, though. And our center defensive mid once again getting involved. Able to find Jota. Cutting this one inside, laying it off to Neves. Now Saiz providing an option. Out wide to Costa, good fake shot. We might be able to find the pass inside. It's a Phobie on the far post, and that is a rewarding goal. It might be a simple one, but when you're playing on Legendary with difficult sliders, every single goal counts. And it means that much more. Now that we are up 1-0, I'd like to make one attacking-minded substitution. Jota has kind of had an off day. He's had a few touches on the ball, but he hasn't done much with it and hasn't created too many chances. I'll be bringing on Cavallero for the rest of this match because he's our most capable substitute. Nice tackle from Saiz. Well, more of an interception, in fact. Now to Costa. Their fullbacks are starting to drift a bit inside. So we may be able to send in some crosses now as we get into the later stages of the match. It's a Phobie. Playing it backwards to Neves. We're being patient with our play, and our fullbacks are providing an overlapping option. This is Doherty. Are we going to score a similar goal to our first one? We had the space at the end, but a Phobie did not make the run. Across the far post. We need to get this one cleared. Well done, and Costa will collect. We may be able to get a counterattack here. It's a Phobie making a run down the right. And a nice ball to find him. Has 2 defenders to beat. Gets by 1. And now looking for options in the middle. Here's Neves. Over to Costa. The left-footed player. Drifts it back inside. Podence. Shrugging off the defender. And now to Saiz. Out wide to Douglas. Just not too many passing options for us. A Phobie. Out muscling a defender. He bangs that one off the post, and unlucky not to get a second goal there. Nicely done. This will be Douglas. Drifting by one defender, needs an option in the middle. He'll cut it back inside. Webster sliding in and probably saving another goal. We have 2 substitutions left, and I think I'll make them right now. And they'll likely be defensive-minded substitutions, considering we just need to hold on at this point. And Dye will be brought on for Neves. And hey, let's make a center-back substitution. Cody will come off, and Bath will see out the rest of this one. Oh, that could be a pen, and a Phobie gets taken down. He finds a way to get penalties consistently. I don't know what it is about him, but he's a special player for us, and he's contributing to so many goals. I think I'm going to let a Phobie take this one. We'll try to put it off to the right and into the corner. Make this one 2-0 and see out the match. Keeper is rude to the spot. Phobie gets his 2nd goal of the match, and that'll be 3 points for us. I'm very happy with our performance today, securing a win from 12 shots, 5 on target, and holding on to 60% of possession. Man of the match, no question about it. It will go to a Phobie. And while we weren't very clinical today, a Phobie was. He was putting away his chances, he drew penalties, and that's what you want from a striker. We've received a message from one of our players in between matches. Ben Marshall is unhappy about his playtime, and it's a difficult situation. We have so many capable attackers and even right mids in this team that it's been tough for me to find spaces for players like Marshall. I'll continue to play him in the cup matches, but I just can't guarantee him playing time in our league matches. A quick update on the league table. We finally moved up to first place. Reading drew their last match against Bristol City 0-0, and courtesy of our plus 15 goal differential, we're sitting in first. We'll try to keep it that way for the rest of the episode. Bristol City will be our next opponents, and like I just mentioned, they drew Reading in their last match, so clearly they're a pretty formidable opposition, but I have to take a second to just admire their kit and shorts combination, purple and green. Who would have thought that went together? But that's aside from the fact. Let's take a look at our starting 11. And I have to say, I'm not entirely happy with our fitness levels. Practically all of our players are lower than full fitness, but that's what we have to work with, and I can't sacrifice player quality, so we'll have to go with lower fitness in this one. I fully expect our team to play better than we did in our first match. Now that we've adjusted to the new sliders, I'll be attacking from the get-go. You can see that they are pressing. They want to get the ball back and they want to attack. But we're not letting them have the ball. Nice through ball to find Podence, and we're going to slip that one through to a Phobie. A finish. Could have been decent, and that took a deflection off the defender. A very unusual goal, but we'll take it. 1-0, 5 minutes into the match. I'm unsure if Podence will be credited with the goal, if that was even heading on target. I have a feeling it was. And we'll take a look at this replay. Phobie should have done better with that initial effort. And although it's difficult to tell from these angles, Podence's shot may have been going wide, but you really can't fault the defender for trying to get a deflection. And Podence does end up getting credited with the goal. Costa's through. And we'll find him here. Looking for options. This is Podence, the finesse shot from outside the box. Oh, man, that was close. And those finesse shots tend to be really effective. We'll see how close this was. And yeah, we were... Oh, Phobie does well to try to cut this one inside. Podence somehow still on the ball. We'll place one across. A Phobie misses. Cavallero with the second effort. And the defender gets a block in. I don't know what to say about that run of play, but we get a corner kick out of it. It's Podence, gets by one. He'll send across to the far post. We have someone there. Steal, what a save. A Phobie unable to follow it up. And we get another corner kick. Man, this has been a fun match to play. Podence, another far post cross. This time it's cleared. Well, this is not good news for our left midfielder, Costa. He's gone down, and these tend to be serious injuries. We won't know the length of the injury until the end of the match once we get our email. But I have either Ronan or Gero to bring on for Costa. I'm going to be going with Connor Ronan. He's been playing well in his last couple of matches, and hopefully this Costa injury is not serious. Another very strong first half performance from us where we held on to the majority of possession. I like to be more clinical with our chances because, let's be honest, our goal was a scrappy one. Nice tackle from Neves. And a Phobie has one defender left to beat. He has support as well. Looking for the options around him. Cavallero, I asked him to play the through ball, but he's still running with it. Burbis fitting inside. The shot on the near post. And Steele makes the save. Steele has put in an incredible performance today, and he's easily kept this match in reach for Bristol City. It could be 2 or 3-0 had it not been for his heroic efforts. Here's Doherty on the ball, playing it inside. We have an open player on the right. This should be Douglas. Cutting it back in. And we just couldn't do anything there. Another great tackle. And Willy Boley spotting the run from Afobe. Needs the finish. Not a lot of power behind it, but the placement could have been just a bit better. He had the time to shoot, and it was a perfectly weighted through ball. Just a hair away. Whereas the last match I made defensive changes, I feel like Bristol City are susceptible to being scored on the counterattack. So I'm going to bring in some fresh players for our attackers. Afobe will be brought off, and we'll bring on Bonatini for the rest of this one. Marshall will also get a bit of playing time because he's been complaining. We'll sub him in for Cavallero. Marshall asking his fullback to make the run, and Doherty should have the pace here. Finding Marshall once again. Gets by a few defenders. And that was on target. Got it by the keeper, but the defender with a goal line clearance. Unlucky for Marshall not to score. It's another match where we could have been more clinical with our chances. Although, to be fair, Steele had an incredible performance. I would even argue that he was man of the match for Bristol City. Man of the match for us, though, will go to Podanes. He got the 9.5 rating. One of the craziest goals I've seen this season, but a goal's a goal, and a win's a win. We have an update on the Costa injury, and it's not as serious as it could have been. He's out with a dislocated shoulder for 8 weeks, or roughly 2 months, and I think we'll be able to get by with the left mid options we have available. But we also have a monthly scouting update attached, our second one from Portugal, and we'll see if we can sign up any more 94 potential players to our youth academy to join the center back that we currently have. And we do have a 94 potential player in Guilherme Noronha. 70 to 94 potential, 170,000 for the value. I usually like that to be higher, but considering we don't have too many players available in our youth academy right now, I'll sign him up and see if he does, or if he is able to reach the upper end of his potential. Actually, 2 94 potential players attached, Afonso Mendes being the second, and he's only at 90,000 for the value. So I think I'm going to pass on him for right now, and I'll say for this career mode, 100,000 for the value will be my threshold to sign up a player. This will be a big match for us to close out the episode, first versus third, as we match up against Nottingham Forest, who are also unbeaten in the league. 4 wins, 3 draws, and 15 points to show for it. Probably the toughest competition we've had yet. It'll be interesting to see how we fare in this match without one of our star players in Costa. What I've done for this fixture is I brought in Cavallero at that left mid position. Although he is right-footed, I think he is our next best option in terms of the overall rating. And considering he has a 4-star weak foot, he can definitely play at that left mid position. We might just need to cut inside more with him and try to shoot towards the far post. But I'll open this up as a poll question. What do you guys think we should do about the left mid position while Costa is injured? Option 1 is we would be starting Cavallero like we do in this match. The second option is that we could start a left-footed player like Gero, who's only 4 ratings lower. I'll leave it up to you guys. Let me know what you think. My goal for this match is to be more clinical with our attacking chances and as a result, score more goals. With that said, we're playing against a Nottingham Forest team who are using a fairly defensive formation similar to ours, the 4-2-3-1, and they're the best side we've played all year, so I don't know if we're going to be able to achieve our goal. It's been a great attacking performance and a passing performance from Nottingham Forest. This could be dangerous. Ruddy able to make the save, and the loose ball is collected. Nottingham Forest are not afraid to pass the ball around, similar to our play style, and it's just very difficult to match up against a team that uses a similar tactic to what you use. Afobe might have a chance here, though. Actually, it's Cavallero on the ball, and he'll play this one. Here's Douglas on the ball, spawning out a few potential passing options. Neves to Jota. Hasn't done much all episode. Maybe he can make 2 defenders miss or get taken out inside the box. No penalty on that one. Interesting call from the ref. Oh, fair play. I don't know what our defender was doing. He seemed to have 16 seemed to have the Nottingham Forest attacker marked, but he shrugged him off or did something, and it was an obscure header to beat Ruddy on his near post. First goal we've conceded all episode, but it was only a matter of time. Third place Nottingham Forest, they've played very well with their passing. They've just worked the ball around, very similar to what we do. That's a class finish from Klo. Oh, ref! We won the ball back in the final third, and we may have had a chance to get one more attack in. But we'll go into the break with a lot to work on. I'm curious to see what the statistics are looking like. I feel like it's going to be similar to our last couple of matches where we've had attacking chances, we just haven't been clinical. You can see 0 shots on target, and there's no excuse for that. We simply need to test the keeper more. Nice bit of link-up play. Cavallero could send it across. Instead, he'll hold it up, finding a Phobie. We have options in the middle. This is Podaince. I just want to get an effort off and test the keeper. We will test the keeper, and what a finish from Podaince. Our first shot on target. I did not have high expectations for that, especially considering it was Podaince shooting. But hey, if you don't buy a ticket, you won't win the lottery, and we've tied it up 1-1. Oh, this could be bad. We need to close down this attacker. Ward trying to send a ball into the box, and once again we get it cleared. Why did we... Oh, that's a mess of a clearance on my end. We're just gifting him Nottingham Forest a goal right there. I should have been more cautious, just booted the ball out of play, and that's one of my worst habits in FIFA. We'll need to fight hard to get a win in this one, and I need to make some attacking changes. A Phobie will be coming off, and we'll let Bonatini see out the rest of this one. I'm also going to bring on Giro for Cavallero. I feel like having a left-footed player there will help us. I'll try to send in some more crosses and just hope for the best because we have not created much on the attacking side of things. I'll also bolster up our midfield by bringing in Saiz for Ndiaye. Well, you can scratch the Saiz for Ndiaye substitution because apparently Douglas is injured and I need to take him off. I wasn't aware of that, so I suppose Ndiaye will play as a left back for us. What a turn for Bonatini. Ref, you gotta let him play on there for the advantage. It looked like Bonatini was about to turn to some space, and we may have had an attacking chance. We do have a free kick, though, from a good position. I'm horrible at free kicks this year, so I'm just going to do a layoff pass and see if we can create something. Bonatini will pass it inside. It takes a deflection on the way, and now it's going to be Nottingham Forest on the counterattack. Maybe we can win back possession in a good spot. We get the deflection we needed. This is Podaince slipping it through, and I think Bonatini was offside. This will probably be our last attack of the match. Podaince needs to find a way through this defense, and there's just no space for us to do anything. We'll try to find our overlapping fullback, and Doherty sending in one last cross to the far post. Keeper's going to collect, and that will be our first loss of the season, guys. I don't know what to say. Nottingham Forest, fair play to them. They played well defensively, and we just made too many errors to even get a point out of this one. I think it will be a lesson learned. On the current difficulty and with these adjusted sliders, I can't be making mistakes. When we're trying to get the ball cleared defensively, just boot it up. Don't try to pass it around. And ultimately, we were lucky to have even gotten one goal from this one. We just had one shot on target, and it was just a bit of technical ability from Podaince getting that one by the keeper. Man, the match will go to a Nottingham Forest player, and it was their right back, Lishai, with an 8.4 rating. But guys, that'll bring an end to today's episode of the Wolves career mode. Wish I could have ended it on a better note, but still a good episode in my opinion regardless. If you did enjoy today's episode, make sure to leave a like on the video. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. But until next time, this has been Flick. I'll be talking to you guys again soon.